Dear students, this is module number 223, and in this module, we will continue to talk about ethical and unethical practices in the organization. And one of them is very famously known as bribes and kickbacks. This is also the last module about the corporate social responsibility. When we talk about the bribe and kickbacks, there is a slight difference between the two, bribe and kickbacks. When we say bribe, simply when somebody is given money to do something which is not the part of, or the person is not legitimate to do that activity. So you are giving somebody money to do something. For example, you are paying somebody to make a passport for you, or you are paying somebody to give you a discount or for anything. When we talk about the kickbacks, now people in the organization, they have some power to exercise. They have some power to exercise. For example, many government officials, they have the power to allocate somebody, for example, the requisition or the allocation of a petrol pump, or to allocate the government money or the funds from the government offices to the people. So, for example, somebody has the power. Now, if that person take some percentage of whatsoever money you are giving to the other person, we call that it is a kickback. For example, if I say that, okay, I'm in the bank, I can offer you a loan of 10 million, but in response to that, or in return to that, I would be taking that 1%. Otherwise, I would not be signing on the application, or I would not be accepting your application. So this is a form of kickback. A bribery, on the other hand, is a lump sum amount you pay somebody to do something. Now the question is the bribery and kickbacks, how and what is the role of that employee and what is the role of organizations. Indeed, it is an unethical, immoral, or illegal practice in the organization. So bribery and payoffs are common business practices in the developed countries. However, one thing is very important, please pay attention to that. If American organizations, let's think about that, the foreign organization or multinational organizations, this is condemned in their society. This is not acceptable in their society. People will even not think about doing these things, bribery and kickbacks in the United States, in the United Kingdom, or in the Western world like the European Union. It is very hard for the people to think about these things. What about these multinationals? When they operate in developed countries, they know that in these developed countries, their business cannot go further if they are not involved in those things. Is it justified morally now that they can do these practices in the developed countries, while they consider that these practices are not allowed morally or not acceptable morally, ethically, and legally in their country? So definitely what you consider, these are referred to as a dual standards, or double standards. What you consider is wrong in your country, illegal in your country, you should refrain yourself and stop yourself doing same thing in the developed countries, where people even are accustomed of those things. People even those consider these things very bad. You should not encourage these practices in the developed countries. So this is the moral responsibility and legal responsibility of the multinational organizations when they are operating in the developed countries, not to do those things which are considered bad even in their own country. So similarly, when we talk about the bribes and kickbacks, there is another issue. Now talk about the gifts. What should we do with the gifts? You are not bribing somebody. You are not giving a kickback to somebody that is a percentage of amount, but you are giving a gift to somebody who is having a position in the organization. You are giving a gift to your supervisor. You are giving a gift to your immediate boss. You say that, sir, we have a land in the northern area, and this is the time for the dry fruit, or we have some land in the Multan or somewhere in Pakistan, and we have received some fresh mangoes, so these are just for you. Is it ethical or unethical? Morally, it is right or wrong? Now we see that there are some rules that will help us to decide. As I said in the beginning, knowledge of right and wrong is help people actually to decide that they should doing or they are doing whatsoever they are doing is right or wrong. So the value of the gift, it is suggested that the value of the gift is important. If the value of the gift is very high, it is a form of bribery, it is a form of kickbacks, it is not the form of gift. Let me give you an example. For example, when I came back to Pakistan to collect the data for my PhD, and I went back and I purchased a form of gift for my supervisors, and that was simply a wallet, a leather wallet. And I gave to my supervisor, and he said that, what is the cost of this wallet? I said in dollars, it was Pakistani 1,500 rupees. So I said in the form of New Zealand dollar, it is about $15. He said, okay, we can accept that. If it is of greater value, for example, hundreds of dollars, we are not allowed to take these gifts from our students. So this is a very important, it was a very important message for me as well. And it was a great learning for me as well. When we are giving the gift to the people, the value should also determine whether it is a bribe or something. Its purpose, what is the purpose? You are giving somebody as a social gesture or as a friendly gesture, or your purpose or intentions are to seek some benefits. So the circumstances under which it is given. So you are giving somebody just as a friendly gesture or something. The position and sensitivity to influence. If that person has you are trying to socially influence that person, and that person is in a position to give something in return to you, it is morally not acceptable or ethically not acceptable. So these forms of bribery and gifts and kickbacks, organizations need to have a clear policies and code of conduct to avoid these things. In terms of corporate social responsibility, it is also the corporate social responsibility. Thank you.